So now I'm going to read the question. For harm manufacturers white goods such as washing machine, tumble dryers, dishwashers. Current year end 30th June exit. So one of the incident that is about factory subsidies. Subsidies means some of the maintenance work, the event arises which reflects that some maintenance works need to consider, or we have to work out for the maintenance, or we have to work out to overcome that problematic issue. Farham as a production facility which started to show sign of subsidence found since exit. It is probable that Farham will have to undertake major repair sometime during X9 to correct the problem. Farham does not insurance policy, but likely to cover subsidence. Okay. The COO argues that provision for the repair to the factory should be made. Okay, this is what the COO requirement. This is what COO requirement. Work out the major repair and systems. So the point is that if the answer is that provision should be made or provision should not be made, we cannot get the marks by just writing that with the final decision, provision should be made or provision should not be made. This is the wrong way. We will not be able to get the marks. But what the examiner expectation to present the answer in this manner. Examiner expect that you have to, number one, present the knowledge of the issue, knowledge of the accounting standard. The first very important thing that is about the knowledge. The first very important thing, knowledge. So what you should do whenever you are making a preparation of the accounting standard and practicing the question of the accounting standard, the first thing is that whenever you identify the accounting issue, you have to present the knowledge of accounting standard about that particular issue. So here you have to present your knowledge. Provision, IAS 37, provision, contingent liability assets. It states that provision should only be recognized if there is a present obligation from a past event, an outflow of economic resources is probable, and the obligation can be measured reliable. So first thing, you have to present your knowledge. Some important aspect. It is not compulsory that you have to write the complete name of the accounting standard. You can just mention like this. IAS 37 states that. Number one. Number two, it's not compulsory to write the exact wording of the accounting standard. You must have to write it with your own wordings. That's the point. By the way, if you if you prepare about the accounting standards preparation during the preparation, so you heard the accounting standard aspects, for example, these three conditions, then you practice by your own. So 3 to 5 times, whenever you study with the 3 to 5 times by reading, by listening. So most of the people already establish a mindset what to write. So not to worry about it. The very first thing is about the knowledge. Then you have to connect the thing with the case. Then you have to connect the thing with the case. That is the case. That you have to mention. In this particular case, the provision cannot be made. For example, no provision for the repair to the factory should be made because connection of the case means mention your answer with the reason. Because there is no legal or constructive obligation to repair the factory. Means there is no obligation arise. No obligation. Although outflow is probable, measurement is reliable, but the condition that all three must have to be, these three conditions actually must have to accumulate. The expenditure could be avoided by changing the nature of operations, and it has no present obligation of the future expenditures. Do remember that the obligation means some responsibility that's now become on your shoulders and you cannot avoid. That's called obligation. Once again, obligations means, sorry, obligations means does some responsibility have now become taken on your shoulders and you cannot withdraw, you cannot avoid it, you cannot get rid of until unless you have to compensate. But here in this case, there is no sense of responsibility. Candidates, can you please reply me? Are you getting the point? Are you developing your mind how your answer, how you will present your answer in the exam? This is what about the direction.